Have you ever looked at a plain OL penny and thought, this thing is worthless? Well, hold on to your magnifying glasses because today, we're talking about a 2002 D. Lincoln penny that sold for a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Yeah, you heard me right. A single, tiny penny that could buy you a mansion, a Ferrari, or at the very least, pay off your in-laws so they stop borrowing money. I know what you're thinking. How do I find one? Did I just spend a fortune without knowing it? Should I be flipping over my couch cushions right now? Stick around because we're diving deep into the story behind this coin, what makes it so valuable, and how you can spot hidden treasures in your own pocket change. First, let's talk about why the 2002 D. Lincoln penny is causing such a frenzy. Now, normally, pennies from 2002 aren't exactly rare. In fact, billions were minted that year, which means most of them are about as exciting as watching paint dry. But every once in a while, the mint makes a little oopsie, a tiny, accidental masterpiece that turns an everyday coin into a jackpot. So what makes this particular 2002 D penny so special? Well, this specific coin is a known mint error, and not just any error. It's a double die variety with a crazy off-center strike, and it was struck on a bronze planchet instead of the standard zinc-coated copper planchet. If that sounds like a lot of fancy numismatic mumbo-jumbo, let me break it down for you in plain English. Basically, the coin got printed, kinda wrong, but in a really valuable way. It was supposed to be your standard run-of-the-mill penny, but because of a minting mix-up, it ended up on the wrong metal. That alone makes it rare, but when you throw in the doubling of the design and an off-center strike, boom, instant million-dollar penny. Now, here's the kicker. This wasn't just any OL lucky find. The guy who found it, he wasn't even a hardcore collector. He was just a dude sorting through some pocket change, probably trying to scrounge up enough cash for a gas station coffee. He noticed something off about the penny, got it checked out, and the next thing you know, he's sitting on a $1.7 million gold mine. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I get in on this? Well, my friends, this is where it gets fun. If you want to increase your chances of finding a valuable coin, you gotta do what collectors call coin roll hunting. This is when you head down to your bank, grab a few rolls of pennies, and start sifting through them like you're panning for gold in the Wild West. You'll need a good magnifying glass, some patience, and maybe a snack because trust me, it's addicting. Look for the 2002 D mint mark. That's the little D under the year on the obverse, the front of the penny. Check for doubling on Lincoln's profile and the lettering. If it looks blurry or like there's a shadow effect, you might have a double die error. Inspect for an off-center strike. If the design isn't centered correctly, that's a big deal. Does it look different from a normal penny? If it seems a little too dark, too light, or the wrong shade of copper, it could be on the wrong metal. Now, let's talk money. While the $1.7 million version of this coin is the holy grail, other error pennies from 2002 have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. A double die alone can fetch anywhere from $100 to $5,000 depending on condition. A misaligned strike could bring in a few $100. And if you find one that's both an error and in great condition, well, my friend, you might just be looking at a serious payday. First, never underestimate a penny. It might be worth way more than 1 cent. Second, treasure could literally be sitting in your pocket, waiting to be discovered. And third, coin collecting isn't just for history buffs and old guys with magnifying glasses. It's a real-life treasure hunt that anyone can join. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Are you gonna start digging through your penny jar right now? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on how to find coins worth serious money, make sure to hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell, and join me on this wild ride of numismatic discoveries. Alright, folks, buckle up because today we are talking about a penny worth nearly $2 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A single, humble 1964 Lincoln penny, no mint mark, has been making waves in the coin collecting world, and its value has shot up to a mind-blowing $1.8 million. Now, before you start flipping over your couch cushions looking for pennies, let's dive into why this little copper coin is worth more than a brand new Ferrari. When I was a kid, I used to think pennies were just annoying little things that collected at the bottom of my mom's purse. I'd find them on the sidewalk, pick them up, and feel like I was about to strike it rich, only to realize it was, well, just a penny. Fast forward to today, And here I am, telling you that one of those little nuisance coins could be worth millions. Funny how life works, right? So, what makes this particular 1964 Lincoln penny so special? Let's break it down. No mint mark mystery. If you look at a standard 1964 penny, you might notice a little letter under the date. That's the mint mark, telling you where it was made. A D means Denver, and an S means San Francisco. But if there's no mint mark at all, it was made in Philadelphia. Now, Philadelphia pennies are common, but not this one. This specific 1964 penny has a unique error, making it extremely rare. And when something is rare in the coin collecting world, you know what happens? Cha-ching! Error coins are like lottery tickets. Here's where things get spicy. This particular no mint mark 1964 penny was struck on a special planchet, which is a fancy term for the metal blank that becomes a coin. Experts believe it was accidentally struck on a leftover planchet from an earlier year or an experimental mix-up at the mint. That little oopsie turned an ordinary coin into a jackpot. The $1.8 million price tag, why so high? So, how does a penny turn into a fortune? Simple: demand. Coin collectors, especially the big-time investors, are always on the hunt for the rarest finds. This penny is like the holy grail of Lincoln cents. When it went up for auction, collectors went absolutely nuts, driving the price up to an astonishing $1.8 million. That's right, one penny, nearly $2 million. Imagine trying to pay for your morning coffee with that thing. Sir, I think I overpaid. How to spot one in your own change now? Here's where you want to pay close attention. If you want to know if you've got one of these golden, or should I say copper, tickets in your pocket, follow these steps. Examine the color. Does it look a little different than the others? Check for any strange features, like doubled lettering or an unusual shine. If you think you've got something special, take it to a professional coin grader. Because let's be real, you don't want to accidentally spend it on a pack of gum. The importance of checking your pocket change. This isn't just about one rare penny, folks. There are all kinds of valuable coins floating around in everyday change. I once found a silver quarter in my laundry pile. Imagine my surprise when I learned it was worth over $100. That's why I always tell people, check your change. You never know when $1 million penny might be staring back at you. Point 1. Never underestimate the power of a penny. 2. Check your change because hidden treasures could be lurking in your pocket. And 3. If you do find one of these rare 1964 Lincoln pennies, don't just throw it in a jar. Get it checked out. And hey, if you love learning about coins that could make you rich, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more insider tips, coin collecting strategies, and jaw-dropping stories coming your way. Plus, if you've ever found a rare coin yourself, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Alright, that's it for today. Now, go dig through your piggy banks, and I'll catch you in the next one. Alright, folks, imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, hoping to find some spare change for a vending machine snack, and bam, you pull out a regular OL penny. Or so you think. But what if I told you that penny could be worth nearly $2 million? Yeah, that's right. Today, we're diving into the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin so rare and valuable that it has collectors losing their minds. Now, before you go running to check your piggy bank, let's talk about what makes this penny so special, how you can spot one, and why it's worth a staggering $1.9 million. And, of course, I'll share a little story about my own experience with a surprising coin find. So stick around. You might just be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Alright, first things first. What's the deal with the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? Normally, coins from 1968 have a mint mark indicating where they were produced. D for Denver, S for San Francisco. But here's the kicker. Some 1968 pennies were struck without a mint mark. And when something like this happens, collectors go wild. Why? Because this wasn't supposed to happen. Every penny from 1968 should have a mint mark, and yet, some slip through the cracks. That makes them extremely rare. And when something is rare in the coin world, it's worth big bucks. How does a mistake like this even happen? Well, back in the day, mint workers were under pressure to produce millions of coins, and occasionally, human error crept in. Sometimes, dies that were meant to have a mint mark didn't get stamped properly. And just like that, A multimillion-dollar error was born. So, what should you look for? Well, the easiest way to check is to grab a magnifying glass and inspect any 1968 penny you find. If there's no little letter under the date, you might be holding something incredible. But be careful. Some folks try to file off mint marks to create fakes. If you think you've got the real deal, take it to a professional coin dealer or grading service to confirm. Now, let's talk about value. A genuine 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in pristine condition recently sold for, get this, $1.9 million at auction. That's more money than most people make in a lifetime. For a penny. Of course, the condition plays a huge role. The better the quality, the higher the value. A beat-up version might still fetch a decent sum, but if you've got one in near-perfect condition, you're in for a payday of a lifetime. Speaking of unexpected paydays, let me tell you about a time I found a rare coin in the most ridiculous place. A few years ago, I was at a laundromat, and I needed quarters for the machine. So I swapped a dollar bill for some change and, out of pure habit, started checking the coins. That's when I spotted an old wheat penny. Turns out it was a 1943 steel penny, worth a few $100. Now, I didn't strike it rich that day, but it taught me one thing. Always check your change, because you never know when you'll stumble upon a small fortune. So, what's the moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of pocket change. That 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be hiding in your drawers, in a jar of old coins, or even in your grandpa's coin collection. And if you find one, you might just be looking at a life-changing amount of money. If you love learning about hidden treasures like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I drop new videos every week on coins worth money, collecting strategies, and how to spot valuable rarities before anyone else. Don't miss out, because the next big find could be sitting right in your hands. Alright, coin hunters, buckle up because today we're talking about a 2017 Lincoln penny that could be worth up to $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. A penny worth $1 million. If that doesn't make you want to go digging through your couch cushions, I don't know what will now. I know what you're thinking. Come on, a modern penny? From 2017? No way. But I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll be sprinting to your penny jar like it's the last slice of pizza at a family gathering. So stick with me as we uncover the details, the rarity, and how you can find one of these golden, well, coppery, tickets. First, let's break down why the 2017 Lincoln penny is so special. Back in 2017, the Denver Mint was cranking out pennies like they were going out of style. Millions and millions of them. But, as with all things in coin collecting, mistakes happen. And when mistakes happen, collectors get excited. Now, the one we're looking for isn't just any 2017 penny. It's a rare error coin. Some of these pennies were struck on the wrong planchet. Others have insane doubling or misalignment errors that make them one-of-a-kind treasures. And that, my friends, is what collectors are willing to throw down big money for. Let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was sifting through my loose change. You know, the little pile of coins that magically accumulates in your car cup holder. When I found a 2017 penny that looked weird. The lettering was a little off. The rim was a little thicker on one side. And I thought, could it be? So, I grabbed my trusty magnifying glass, which, by the way, makes me feel like Sherlock Holmes every time I use it, and boom, it was a minor misprint. Now, mine wasn't worth $1 million, but it did sell for over $100, which, let's be honest, is still a pretty sweet deal for a penny. So how do you find one of these million-dollar beauties? Lincoln penny with a major error, wrong metal, extreme doubling, or significant misalignment, preferably one that hasn't been through the washing machine 3 times. If you think you've found one, get it checked out. There are collectors and dealers out there who would pay big bucks for it. Imagine turning a penny into life-changing money. Now that's an investment strategy one can get behind. So, the moral of the story? Never underestimate your pocket change. That 2017 Lincoln penny in your hand might just be the golden ticket you didn't know you had. And if you've learned anything today, it's that coin collecting is like a treasure hunt. You never know what you'll find until you start looking. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money and collecting strategies, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next big coin discovery. And hey, Drop a comment below. What's the best coin find you've ever had? I'd love to hear your stories. What if I told you that a regular-looking 2011 D. Lincoln penny could be worth over $1 million? That's right, 1 cent, a single copper-plated zinc coin, could turn you into a millionaire. Sounds crazy, right? Well, stick around because today, we're diving into the shocking story of the 2011 D. Lincoln penny that sold for a whopping $1.1 million. We'll talk about how it happened, what to look for, and how you could be holding a fortune in your pocket change. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Now, let's get into it. The 2011 D. Lincoln penny isn't just your average penny. Most people toss these into their couch cushions without a second thought. But one lucky collector discovered something special. So, what makes this particular penny worth more than a mansion? It all comes down to a rare minting error. The coin in question had a double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's face had a slight doubling effect that was clearly visible under magnification. But that's not all. It also had a dramatic off-center strike and a completely missing mint mark, an error so rare that collectors went wild when it hit the market. The combination of these errors made it a one-of-a-kind piece. A well-known coin dealer got their hands on it, and after some expert verification, the coin went up for auction. Bidding was fierce, and in the end, it sold for $1.1 million. That's enough to buy a sports car, a luxury vacation, and still have change left over for, well, more pennies. Now, I have to tell you, I've been searching through my pocket change ever since I heard this story. One time, I was at a gas station and got a handful of pennies in change. I noticed one looked a little funny, slightly off-center, and the date looked doubled. My heart started racing. Was this my million-dollar moment? I rushed home, grabbed my magnifying glass, and inspected it under the best light I could find. Turns out, it was just a smudged print from too many trips through vending machines. But hey, the excitement was real. That's the beauty of coin collecting. Every coin tells a story, and you never know when you'll find that one piece that changes your life. Alright, so how can you tell if your 2011 D penny is a hidden jackpot? Here are the key things to look for. Check Lincoln's face, the lettering, and the date for any noticeable doubling. If the design is shifted, that's a good sign. This is a huge indicator of an ultra-rare error. Mint condition fetch the highest prices. If you think you have a special penny, take it to a professional coin grader. A small investment in grading could mean the difference between a cool story and a million-dollar payday. So, next time you get some change, don't just toss it in a jar. Take a moment to look at your pennies. That 1 cent coin could be worth more than you ever imagined. Who knows? The next millionaire collector could be you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more crazy coin stories and money-making tips. And hey, drop a comment below. What's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Alright, folks, listen up. Imagine checking your pocket change and realizing you're holding a penny worth $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny. No, I'm not messing with you. There's a 2002 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny out there that could make you a millionaire. And the craziest part? You might already have one sitting in your coin jar, your couch cushions, or even in your car's cup holder. Today, we're diving deep into this legendary penny, why it's so rare, how to spot one, and what you should do if you find it. So grab your magnifying glass, dump out that change jar, and let's go treasure hunting. Now, before you start turning over every penny in sight, let's talk about what makes this coin special. The 2002 penny was supposed to have either a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia mint mark, but somehow, a small number of them were struck with no mint mark at all. This wasn't a mistake you'd notice right away, which is why so many slipped into circulation unnoticed. The reason these pennies are worth so much is because they were struck on an experimental planchet, basically, a test batch of coins made with a different metal composition. Instead of the usual copper-plated zinc, these pennies were struck using a unique alloy that makes them distinct from the rest. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar, well, top million, for one of these rare beauties. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was at a flea market rummaging through a box of old coins when I came across a 2002 penny that looked different. No mint mark. I got excited. My heart started racing, and I thought, oh man, I've hit the jackpot. I rushed home, did some research, and even took it to a coin dealer. The verdict? Just a regular OL penny. Talk about heartbreak. But hey, that's the thrill of the hunt, right? So, how do you know if you've got the real deal? A slightly different color and texture compared to normal pennies, a weight of about 3.11 grams, compared to the standard 2.5 grams, a distinct sound when dropped compared to a regular penny. If you think you've got one, do not. I repeat, do not. Just spend it or toss it back into circulation. Get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service. And if you're feeling generous, maybe call me up and let me hold it for a second. Just for research purposes, of course. All right, my fellow treasure hunters, that's the scoop on the 2002 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny that's making collectors go wild. This is why it pays, literally, to check your change. You never know when a simple penny could turn into $1 million payday. Are you about to dump out your coin jar and start hunting? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more insider tips on rare coins, crazy coin collecting strategies, and stories that'll keep you entertained, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Who knows? Your next trip to the gas station might just make you a millionaire. All right, folks, today we are talking about a little copper coin that could change your life. Imagine you're digging through some pocket change, maybe looking for a quarter for the vending machine, and boom, you spot a 1973 D. Lincoln penny. But wait, this isn't just any old penny. This little guy could be worth $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1.3 million for a single penny. Let's break down why and how you can find one of these hidden treasures hiding in your couch cushions. So, picture this. A few years back, I was at a flea market, casually flipping through a jar of old pennies at some guy's booth. You know, the kind of booth that smells like antique wood and lost dreams. Anyway, I found a 1973 D penny, and for a split second, my heart skipped a beat. Could this be the one? Could I finally be on my way to early retirement and beachfront property? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But that's the thrill of the hunt, my friends. And today, I'm going to give you all the details so you don't miss out if you do come across the real deal. Let's start with the basics. The 1973 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, which is what the D mint mark stands for. Most of these pennies are just regular old cents, worth, well, 1 cent. But there's a rare error variety out there that turns this tiny copper coin into a millionaire's dream. Here's what makes this penny so special. In 1973, the U.S. Mint was experimenting with different metal compositions. Somewhere along the way, a few Lincoln pennies were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from the dime production process. That means instead of being the usual copper color, these rare errors have a silverish tint. If you find one, don't toss it in a Coinstar machine. Get it checked out immediately. Now, let's talk money. A confirmed 1973 D. Lincoln penny struck on a silver planchet sold at auction for, wait for it, $1.3 million. Why? Because it's a freak of nature in the coin world. It wasn't supposed to happen, and serious collectors go wild for mint errors like this. They're rare, they're fascinating, and they're valuable. So, how do you check if your 1973 D penny is the jackpot winner? First, do the magnet test. A real 1973 D penny is made of copper, so if your coin sticks to a magnet, you're out of luck. But if it doesn't, move on to step 2. Check the weight. A normal 1973 D penny weighs about 3.11 grams, while the silver-struck error variety will be closer to 2.5 grams, just like a dime. If your penny passes both tests, congratulations. You may be holding on to a life-changing fortune. Now, let's be real. Finding one of these in circulation is about as rare as finding a unicorn in your backyard. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't look. Coins worth serious money turn up in the wild all the time. And let's be honest, checking your change is a lot more fun when there's $1 million payday on the line. Before we wrap up, let's talk strategy. If you want to increase your chances of finding rare coins, here are a few tips. First, get yourself some coin rolls from the bank. Most people don't check their pennies before cashing them in, so you could stumble upon something special. Second, visit estate sales and flea markets. Old collections sometimes get sold off without anyone realizing their true value. And third, always carry a magnifying glass and a small scale. You never know when you'll need to verify a potential jackpot coin on the spot. All right, My fellow treasure hunters, that's it for today's deep dive into the 1973 D. Lincoln penny that could make you a millionaire. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Who knows? The next time you check your change, you might just be holding $1,000,000 in the palm of your hand. You're digging through your couch cushions, searching for a lost remote, and instead, you find a penny. But not just any penny. A little 1962 D. Lincoln cent that, if it's the right one, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. That's right, folks. Today, we're diving deep into the mystery, the history, and the pure dollar signs behind the 1962 D. Lincoln penny that has collectors going absolutely nuts. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just start checking your pocket change with a magnifying glass. Let's get to it, BODY now. Before we go full detective mode on this penny, let's set the scene. It's 1962. John F. Kennedy is president, the first Walmart just opened, and the Beatles are about to take over the world. Meanwhile, in the Denver Mint, millions of Lincoln pennies are rolling off the presses. But hidden among them, one special, one-of-a-kind mistake that turns out to be worth a fortune. So, what makes this penny so special? Well, like many valuable coins, it comes down to a minting error. But this isn't just any old misprint. This is a legendary mistake. The 1962 D. Lincoln penny we're talking about has a unique doubling effect, an off-center strike, or in some cases, an over-mint mark error. This means the D mint mark was either doubled or placed over another letter. Combine that with pristine condition and rarity, and boom, you've got yourself $1,000,000 penny. Okay, but how do I know if I have the golden ticket? First, grab yourself a good magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Check the date, 1962 with the little d under it. Look closely for any doubling on the numbers or letters, especially Liberty or In God We Trust. If you notice any weird doubling, off-center striking, or a strange-looking mint mark, congratulations! You might be sitting on a retirement fund in the form of a penny. Now, I have to tell you a little story. A couple of years ago, I was at a garage sale. You know, the kind where you're hoping to find something cool, but mostly, you just see old VHS tapes and mismatched socks. Well, I found a dusty old jar of pennies. The lady running the sale told me her grandpa had been saving them for decades. I bought the whole jar for $5. Guess what? Hidden in that jar was a 1962 D penny that looked a little off. I thought, no way. Could this be one of those pennies? Long story short, I sent it off for grading, and while it wasn't the $1,000,000 penny, it still sold for a couple $1,000. Not too bad for a $5 investment, right? The moral of the story? Check every coin. You never know what's lurking in that pile of loose change. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The $1.4 million valuation. Why is this specific penny worth so much? Well, it comes down to collector demand, condition, and rarity. There are only a handful of known examples with the right errors, and collectors are willing to pay a fortune for them. It's the same reason people pay millions for rare baseball cards or classic cars. It's about history, nostalgia, and of course, bragging rights. If you're lucky enough to have one in pristine condition, meaning no scratches, no wear, just pure, uncirculated beauty, you're looking at a life-changing payday. Now, let's say you think you found a winner. What's the next step? First, don't clean it. Seriously, I know it's tempting, but cleaning a valuable coin can actually decrease its worth. Next, get it authenticated and graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. They'll evaluate it and give it an official rating, which determines its true market value. If you hit the jackpot, you can auction it off through a reputable coin dealer or a major auction house like Heritage Auctions. All right, folks, that's the incredible story of the 1962 D. Lincoln penny that could turn your spare change into serious cash. If you've got a coin jar sitting around, it's time to start hunting. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next lucky collector to find $1,000,000 mistake. And hey, if you love learning about hidden gems in your pocket change and want more tips on coins worth real money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you don't miss out on the next big coin collecting secret. Drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin? Let's swap stories. Hey folks, let me ask you something. Have you ever checked the pennies rattling around in your pocket and thought, eh, just another penny? Well, what if I told you one of those little copper coins could be worth a whopping $1.5 million? That's right. Today we're talking about the elusive, rare, and downright jaw-dropping 1992 D-Close AM Lincoln penny. You might want to grab a magnifying glass and start digging through that change jar because this one is life-changing. I know, I know. Who actually looks at their pennies that closely? I used to be the same way. In fact, I had a jar of coins sitting in my kitchen for years before I even considered checking for anything special. One day, I decided to go through it while binge-watching my favorite show. Lo and behold, I found a wheat penny from the 1940s, which got me hooked on coin collecting. And let me tell you, when I found out that a 1992 D penny could be worth more than a brand new Lamborghini, I nearly spilled my coffee all over my collection. Alright, so what makes this 1992 D penny so special? It all comes down to one tiny detail: how the letters A and M appear in the word America on the reverse side of the coin. Most 1992 pennies have a wide spacing between the A and the M, but the rare, valuable ones have something called a close AM design, where the letters are almost touching. This wasn't supposed to happen on Denver minted pennies that year, but thanks to a minting mix-up, a few of these slipped into circulation. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but how many are out there? Well, experts estimate that only a handful of these pennies exist, fewer than 20 known so far. That's why they command such insane prices when they show up at auction. One of these pennies sold for over $25,000 years ago, and as more collectors scramble to find one, the value has skyrocketed to a jaw-dropping $1.50 million. Imagine finding one of these pennies in your couch cushions. That's a whole new definition of a lucky penny, right? Makes you wonder how many people have unknowingly spent one of these at a gas station or tossed one into a tip jar. How do you know if you've got one of these golden, well, copper tickets? Grab a magnifying glass and take a close look at the word America on the back of your 1992 D penny. If the A and M are touching, congratulations. You might just be holding a fortune in your hands. But before you go quitting your job and planning your dream vacation, make sure to get it authenticated by a professional grading service. Condition matters. The better shape your penny is in, the higher the value. A worn-out one might still be worth a lot, but if it's in pristine condition, well, you might just be looking at a new house, a sports car, and a lifetime supply of tacos. Alright, folks, now's the time to start checking your pockets, car seats, and that old coin jar you've been ignoring for years. You never know. You could be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about hidden treasures in your pocket change, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I share tips, tricks, and crazy coin stories that could help you cash in big. Plus, who doesn't love a good treasure hunt? Thanks for watching, and remember, next time you get a penny in your change, don't just toss it aside. It might just be worth $1 million. See you in the next video.